Is that calling a drink crazy is not an insult. DJ wearing yours. Don't believe you have to be like anybody. When they talk about the greatest team in the history of the sport, enough.
And I want you to take a look. And with it, I would like to install these great examples in retail. We also did a great job. We also celebrate running with a sunset run. We, as a woman in Nike, want to inspiring through moments and stories. World records when it comes to marathons. So in footwear, it's all about our innovations. Also some great new packs and collections. Amazing story about it.
On the globe to move with us and do something about it. And for us in training, not only is Fall 20 the season of the Olympics, it's also the season of one of training's biggest moments.
Really revolutionary fabrication for her because it doesn't show the sweat.
And then you can see that this side doesn't show the perspiration through and this side does.
Yeah. Wow. So what's on the right side?
So this is bronze.
Sustainability is our journey to zero, meaning parts of when we're talking about women, the biggest part is sportswear, with its 80% share of business within women's. Because it's more feminine, it's more seasonal, and with the new great product for her revenue. And the last.
Before I introduce our two very special guests for tonight, we're gonna play a special video for you.
If we show emotion, we're called dramatic. If we want to play against men, we're nuts. And if we dream of equal opportunity, delusional. When we stand for something, we're unhinged.
It's super, it's gonna need to calm down.
When we're too good, there's something wrong with us. And if we get angry, we're hysterical or rational or just being crazy. But a woman running a marathon was crazy.
Officials tried to pull her off the course.
A woman boxing was crazy. A woman dunking, crazy. Coaching an NBA team, crazy. A woman competing in a hijab, changing her sport, landing a double cork 1080, or winning 23 Grand Slams, having a baby, and then coming back for more. Crazy, 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 and crazy. So if they want to call you crazy, fine. Show them what crazy can do.
I have a great honor to introduce two very remarkable women and two great athletes. Did you ever do something in your life?
Oh my God, then I can do that. And World Championship, European, but I want to go to. I lost from Russia, from Mexico, from the same people came to me and told me, I believe in you since day one. And as a role model, just work with my psychologist
to attract her interest in this beautiful game. Now, I'm going to present you calendar with upper for optimal fit. Second is generative texture in our showrooms, and you will have chance to see it. It's good to mention that besides of which
hidden from the world, 24 elite players hold a secret tournament with 8 teams and only one rule. The best one wins.
dancing to my tunes. I wanna be a billionaire. I wanna be a billionaire.
Hi everyone, how you all doing? You still awake? Yeah, good. Well, Maya, thank you for your introduction. My name is Alexandra and I'm marketing manager here for Sport Time Balkans. And on this stage today, we prepared a special surprise for you guys. We will have two football legends as our guest speakers. So, without further ado, please welcome one of the best Serbian football players and current Partizan coach, Savo Milošević. Hi. Hello. Take a seat, please. Thank you. Also, please welcome the legend of Romanian football scene, Gheorghe Popescu. Hello, how are you all? Thank you. Have a seat. Thank you. Well, first of all, guys, thank you for being here with us on this wonderful occasion. I did prepare a couple of questions for both of you, and I will go with Savo first, if that's okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Good evening to everybody. Great to be here.
Good. Okay, so my question is, can you please tell us how it all started for you? Do you remember your first let's say, official game, first practice? How was it back then? Go ahead.
Well, it was completely different from these days. I started to play football when I was 6, 7 years old, and I was lucky to have a football pitch of the local club just 100 meters away from my home. And it was not organized training like we have these days, football schools everywhere. And it was very much the opposite. I had to sneak out from the house to go outside normally and spend all day on the pitch without lunch. Having in mind that I will be punished if I don't come back to eat. But I was really ready always to pay that price. And most of my youth I was basically training all day, since the morning until the late evening hours. Completely different from what we have today.
Okay.
So that was basically how I started. I started in the club when I was 11. Which is late if we compare to these days. And I really don't remember my first game that time. It was a long time ago. I do remember first important thing in my career was when I was invited for the under-16 national team of the old Yugoslavia, when we were all together. That was the crucial moment probably in my life.
And when did you know back then that would be, the football would be actually your profession?
Actually, that was the moment where I first time thought maybe I'm going to do something in the football. When I received that call for the under-16 national team.
Thank you. Now talking about international club experience, Gheorghe, I don't know if you remember, you probably do, while back in 1996, there was this game, and it was played here in Belgrade. I don't know if any of you remember 1996 Belgrade. I surely remember. It was beginning of the school year, and half of my classmates were at the game. Barcelona played against Red Star at Maracana, and Gheorghe, your role in Barcelona team was tremendous. You played side by side with names such as Ronaldo, the first Ronaldo. You guys all remember him?
Original one.
Original one, yes. No hair one. Ronaldo, then Figo, Let's hear some Bulgarians. Stoichkov, he was in Barcelona, yeah. You name it. But can you please tell us a little bit more about the game and 1996 in general, because you and your teammates did an amazing job with Barcelona team that year.
Well, the season 1996-1997 was an important season for Barcelona. We won the Super Cup, Spanish Super Cup, the Spanish Cup, and the Cup Winners' Cup. For me, also was also an important season because after 1 year from my transfer, I became the captain of Barcelona. The second round, we meet Red Star. We play in Barcelona. We won 3-1 in Barcelona, and we draw 1-1 here. We had a terrific team, how you said, with Ronaldo, with Giovanni, Stoichkov, Roland Blanc.
There was a goalkeeper,
Figo, Bahia, so on. I remember two things from this game. The atmosphere from Maracana was amazing crowd, and always here in Maracana is amazing crowd. And I remember that I missed the penalty in Barcelona.
Yes, Red Star scored first, and then after a couple of minutes...
Yeah, we draw with Giovanni.
Yes, exactly. Okay, but the Barcelona, like you said, had an amazing year, 1996.
Yeah, it was the first year of the Bosman rule, when the circulation of the players was free. I remember that in that season we had in the dressing room 17 internationals.
Yes, it was a good one. Good year for Barcelona. But now, since we mentioned Red Star, it would be fair enough to talk about Partizan, right? It's logical.
I was thinking we were talking about Barcelona.
Yes, of course. Savo, we all know that you're a huge fan of Partizan and that Partizan is your club. You managed both. You played for your club and now you are coaching your club. Do you think football dynamics changed over the years since you were the player?
Well, I can honestly say these are two completely different sports. If I compare the football I played and today's football, it's completely different. And then my role as a player was the easy one, because you have to only think about what you're going to do on the pitch. Comparing to my job now, when I have to think about 25 very difficult and complex persons. And it's quite difficult to manage that. Completely different two jobs. It's much harder and much more difficult now.
So you see things differently now being a coach? Yes.
Much more difficult.
More difficult, okay. And what would Coach Milošević say to Savo player if he had a chance?
Lose a few pounds, first of all.
Alrighty.
There are other things, but this would...
Yeah.
I was far from perfect.
Good. And Georgie, for you, you have won Romanian Footballer of the Year title 6 years. And for six years, matter of fact, 4 years in a row. Can you please share one of your favorite memories playing for your country?
Well, I was the first and the last player from Romanian history who won 4 times in the road. As you said, between 1989 and 2000, I won 6 times the best footballer of Romania. And thinking that in this period, I had the battle, the competition with Hagi, who is the best player of Romanian
Back and forth.
history. So 11 years we just shared the trophies, the best player of Romania. So winning in front of Hagi was a special moment for me. Talking about the special moments, I was very lucky to have a lot of special moments with the national team of Romania between 1919 and 2000. We qualified 3 times for the World Cup. In 1994 we arrived until the quarterfinals. We were the five national team in the world. Always when you put on the national team shirt, Savo knows is a special feeling. You feel different as you play for the club. You feel the emotion different. You don't play for money. You play with heart. And I was very lucky to play the 115 caps for my national team.
Can you single out specific goal or a match when you play for Romania?
Yeah, there are a lot of matches, but a special one was in 1994 against Argentina. In 1994 was the best game of the tournament. Yeah, in 1994. It was a special moment.
Good. And to wrap it up, while you both were football players, there was no social media, no high-speed internet. There was internet, but no high-speed internet, no high-tech computers. And nowadays, we have kids staying in their rooms, playing video games, being online 24/7. They all have smartphones. And they are not engaging into any physical activities. We as a brand are trying to engage more youth to play sports and to make a sport their daily habit. And for example, if you have a stage like you do today, what would be, to speak your mind and to raise awareness, what would be your message to that Generation Z, like to those kids? Who wants to go first? Okay.
Well, I am a father of two children. My son Nicolas is playing football. He's playing in the academy. He's playing also for the national team of Romania under 17s. He's every day on the pitch. He's all day on the pitch, and I fight with him to take him out from the pitch. If I let them sleeping on the field, he will be there. On the other hand, my daughter, she studied in Barcelona in Estado University. I pay him the most expensive season card of the gym, doesn't go.
Not a day.
So
yeah.
two children with the same parents, yeah, different. What is important is to have a balance between the computers, the social media, because this is the new world, and the sport. I think we, the parents, have the responsibility and the obligation to find the way to send our children out of our homes, to send them to do normal things, to walk in the park, to do sport, to stay with the friends, not all the time with the gadget in the hands or watching computers or watching TV. It's very important for the health. It's very important for them to go out to do normal things. Normal things, I mean, go working in the park, stay with the friends, do sport, not all the time computer, which are very important, but just have a balance between those situations. And I think it's the obligation of us, the parents. We have to find a way.
Thank you. Okay. And I agree.
How did you call this new generation?
You want me to repeat it? Yes. Generation Z. Z.
Is it related to zombies?
Yeah, can be. Yes.
Well, I was joking a little bit, but it's serious.
I agree.
I worked in Federation of Serbia, Football Federation, in the past 5 years, and I was in charge of the youngsters, young generation, and the statistics in our country is terrible. We have 63% of the young kids age of 13, by the age of 13, having some form of deformities, and it's related directly from not having physical activity. They are now small deformities, but in 5, 10 years, 15 years, they will become serious illnesses. So basically, we are creating nation of crippled people who will not be able to do anything. I'm not talking about sport or football, I'm saying about any other job, because you won't be able to do anything in your life if you're not physically well to do it. So we are facing basically one big problem and big challenge, not just here in Serbia, it's also throughout Europe. We have to push out the kids outside of the house. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we have to do it.
Yep.
If not, we're going to face big problems in the future.
I agree. I cannot agree more with you both. Thank you very much for being our guests, for being such an inspiration. And if any of you have any questions for our football stars, please raise your hand so the mic can be passed around. I don't see hands. Come on, Romanians. Okay, we're good to go? Okay, well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Yes, you were amazing guests, and hope to see you soon. Hvala. Thank you.